Hello class, in this video I want to walk through using formulas using Excel and also just go over how we calculate different central tendencies. So here we have a list of numbers, and in the PowerPoint we talked about calculating mean, median, and mode. If you recall the mean, we would just add these up and divide by the total number that we have. And am I at the top? I don't think so. Hold on one second. Yep, one more number. So we have 12 numbers here. The median would be looking, because we have an even number of numbers, we have 12 numbers, we would have to take the midpoint between the 6th and 7th numbers after we sort them. They need to be put in order. And the mode would just be whatever number occurs the most. So we're going to talk about using formulas in Excel, and we don't have to sort our data to do that, but I'm going to sort it anyway just because I want to remind you how to do that. So to sort your data, you select the cells that you want to sort, and I'm just going to come over here. We see this little funnel and A to Z, and I'm going to sort smallest to largest. And there we go. Now we have our sorted data. So we could select median or figure out median because now we have a 19 and 20 here, and we could determine the midpoint. We also can look at mode. We see that 18 occurs the most. And to do mean, we would have to add these up and divide by the total number. So we're going to do that a couple of ways, the mean. The first formula I want to show you is sum. And for any formula that you're going to use in Excel, you just start the cell with an equal sign, just like we do to do any mathematical operation. Also, let me show you up here. This is where we can get to any formula. Here's auto sum, which we're going to be using right now. If you go into more functions and statistical, you'll see a whole alphabetical list of formulas, and we will, over the semester, be using more of these. But if you know it or you think you know it, you can just start typing and it'll come up. And I find that to be the easiest way to do it, especially since I'm going to be telling you what the formulas are that we're going to be using. So to add up some numbers, we just type in equal, and I happen to know that it's sum, and there it is. And you can see when we've selected this or we're on it, it tells you what it's going to do. It's going to add up all the numbers in a range of cells. So I'm going to double click on that. And now I just highlight the cells that I want to add up. And when you're done, you can hit enter. And so if we add up all these numbers, we get 266. And we know that the mean is that number, the total, so I'm pointing to the cell, and I'm going to divide that by 12 because that's how many numbers I have. So we get a mean of 22.16. So we can do that by using if you look up here, you see I have the sum formula, and it's D1 and then colon D12 means it's using the numbers in this range from D1 to D12, D being the column heading and 12 being the row. Another way to do this, a quicker way, is to just use a formula that returns the mean. And that is not, unfortunately, called mean, it's called average. So I'm going to start typing it in and see it gives me all of the formulas available with AV. And average is the formula for the mean. I'm going to double click on that. And now I'm just going to highlight the numbers again. I don't need the last parentheses, and just hit enter. And as you can see, we get the same number, 22 point blah, blah, blah. When I look in this cell, I see the formula. When I look down here, I see the result. And just a little reminder too, if I want to see only 2 decimal places, I can highlight the cells where I want to impose some sort of formatting. I'm going to come over here. I got to go home on my menu item, format cells, and I'm going to select number. So I can say I just want 2 decimal places. And you can see it rounded up. It's not just truncating it, it is actually rounding the data. So equal average is the formula to use to get the mean. the formula for the median is just equal median, which makes it nice and easy. And I'm going to do that, but the midpoint between 19 and 20 is just 19 and a half, so that's what I'm going to expect to get for my median. See, it comes up, it tells you what it's going to do. Double click it, and I'm going to highlight my numbers, and I get 19.5. My mode is just mode, which is nice. Well, actually, there's multiple options here. I think for the most part, we'll be using mode single, meaning it'll return one response, even if there's multiple of them. So let's try mode single, and highlight this, hit enter, and we got 18, which is what we expected. So this is equal median if you want to find the median using Excel, and this is equal mode.single to use Excel to get the mode. Now I want to walk through the weighted average that we did on the PowerPoint. It is just, if you remember the symbol, the summation of x times w. X is our grade and w is our weight, and then we divide it by the sum of w. So here, I need to multiply my grade times my weight. Now, you remember, I could just type in equal 68 times 0.4. I can do it that way. Or I can just refer to the cell that these numbers are in. So I'm going to say equal, come over here and press where the 68 is, and then the multiplication symbol, and press where the weight is, which is 40%, and hit enter. As you can see, I got the same number. The beauty of doing it this way, if you look up here, I'm referencing cell locations. Now I can just copy this down, and it will automatically adjust the cells that it's referencing to 1 to the left times 2 to the left. So let's try that. And now I do not have to type it in each time. If I see here, I'm looking at I6 times J6. So we're on the 6th row. That's the data I'm looking at. Here, if you look here, it adjusted it to I7, J7. So it has adjusted the where it's referencing the data appropriately, which makes it nice. And also, if I want to have this looking nice again, I can format this so I'm only looking at 2 decimal places. It just makes it look neater if you do it that way. That's completely up to you. And now I have my x times w. What I need to do to determine my weighted average is add these up, so I can use that equal sum formula. Double click on it, highlight the numbers I want to add up, and there we go. So if I add up these numbers, I get 151.45. I have to divide that by my weights added up. Well, I can type it in again, but this formula is saying add up the 5 numbers above me. So I can copy this over here, and it's going to add up the 5 numbers above it. So I'm just going to hit Control C, Control V, and now I have the sum of my weights. I hope that's right. Okay. And now we have to divide this sum, x times w, by the sum of the weights. So I'm just going to do this using Excel, type in equal, I'm going to take that number, and I'm going to divide it by this number. I could have typed them in, but it's easier for me just to point to them and hit enter. And this is telling me that my weighted average for these scores, given these weights, is 81.3. And again, reasonability check. If my answer came out to be a 65, I might not like that. I look at this and say, wait a minute, I got 100 and 80 and 95. 65 can't be right. So it needs to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then go back and check your math. So I hope that helps. Just something to play with if you're in Excel. I certainly would try different things, and have a good day.